somebody said, well, try doing a non-drafting race, and that meant a half Ironman, and this was my first 70.3 here in Wimbleball, and that was in 2007. And really then it was just, I enjoyed doing the distance. I did well that year and won it, which made me think, oh, well, maybe I can do this okay. And obviously started doing more half Ironmans, some Olympic distance non-drafting too. But the next step obviously was to then try Ironman as well. So now I've done, a few Ironmans as well, but still feel that half Ironman is my distance I'm a bit better at. So I've, probably just had a general progression over the years. And you're right, it is a crazy thing to do, but for me it's been bit by bit by bit, and it wasn't crazy to start with, but it became something just that I could just do and give a go. And 10 years ago Ironman would have been, no, that is crazy. But now, yeah, it still seems a lot, but train for it, and I can get my head around it and manage the distance. It's a challenge. It's totally different to a single discipline sport, obviously. And that has its pluses and its minuses. We have to train for 3 different sports all the time. But that is also nice because it gives you variety. And maybe if you've got an injury, it's great because you can do the other 2, or you do something if you're injured on one of them. So I do like the variety of triathlon. And you meet all sorts of different people through the 3 different sports, because we train with maybe some swimmers or cyclists or runners. So that's quite nice too. Not always just about the racing. But yeah, it's a real feeling of achievement when you finish something like this, and especially along an Ironman. But there's no such thing as an easy triathlon. I often think it's a strange thing to call a sprint distance triathlon a sprint, because it's at least an hour of exercise. In any other sport, that would be a long time. So yeah, there's definitely a real feeling of I've done something cool when I finish a half or a full Ironman. I suppose you could argue that everybody we're racing in the professional field, at least, are very similar in terms of not ability, but their training they put in. Some are very talented and some maybe have to work a little bit harder. But I think when people really excel is how mentally strong they can be, especially in these longer distance events. You have to have real belief in yourself and real confidence that you can do it as well as you want to do it. And things get hard for everybody, and you have to remember that it's not just hard for me or the next person. We're all hurting at certain points. And if it's sore for me, it must be sore for everybody else. But you're right, mentally it plays a huge percentage. I don't want to say a number, but it's a lot of it to do with how you can deal with things on the spot, because things change all the time in these races. It's a long time, and if something goes wrong, you have to remember that it can get better. It's not the end of the world if something goes wrong in my swim, or if I have a problem towards the start of the bike. Hopefully, it can come good. You can solve the problem if it's not something like a crash or something bad. You can carry on and finish the race hopefully as well as you would want to. An obvious strength for me is my swim. I tend to always be able to be at the front of a swim, or at the front group at least, and sometimes can lead a swim, which is great because it is always nice to be at the front of a race. It's great fun leading, it keeps you out of trouble. So if I can, I'll really push the swim and be at the front as much as I can. I feel more comfortable there. So yeah, my swim probably would seem as my strength. And as I say, I used to do that as a kid, so it's more natural. Cycling too, I've done that most of my life. Even when I was a kid, I would be on bikes all the time. So I feel I can ride pretty well with most of the top guys if they appear at a race. Running's definitely my third wheel. I've had to work harder at that. As I say, when I used to do short distance racing, my run just wasn't quick enough. And that distance, the shorter races, it means much more. Whereas here in the longer distance races, you can, if you've had a good swim on a bike, that can give you a buffer, maybe. You can maybe start the run with a bit of a lead over some other athletes. And over the years, I've worked on my run and felt that the half Ironman and even the Ironman distance runs suit me a bit better. More strength, less speed, and a little bit more suited to how I can pace a run. It means a great deal to me coming back and racing Wimbleball, and it's why it's the race I've done the most. I've only missed 1 year that I could have raced it. So this is my 6th time racing here. I have won it 3 times. So obviously I'd love to win it again. And because I've had lots of races here and I have been lucky enough to win, I look forward to coming back.